Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? We're here. We're here for a Q&A with Splitintwo. Just going to kind of answer questions today. We're not really going to be digging. We're going to play for about 2 hours. Just try to answer questions, try to show you guys as much things as I possibly can. Kind of fill in those little odds and end things, you know what I mean? All that good stuff, dudes. So come in the chat. Make sure you guys say what's up. Have any questions, feel free to ask. We're just chilling. Got like a... just chill today. We're just chilling. We're just gonna try to do our best. I'll probably throw dollar mode on to answer some questions. Just kind of like, you know, just show you guys what's going on. Just show you guys what's going on. If there is anybody that comes in and has any questions. If not, we'll just chill and think around and mess around with stuffs. But yeah, dudes. Yeah, dudes. Probably gonna play some Satisfactory after as well. Just kind of relax and just kind of kick back. Oh, teacher. I have a question. All right, man. Shoot it out there, dude. What do we got? What do we got? Hey. Brand new save. We can hop around to all kinds of saves. I got all kinds of fun saves to play with. Is there a good place for nuggetators on Rivertown? Well, let's take a look at Rivertown. Let's go ahead and go to save that I have. Load save. I think season 16 has a fast travel there. Gonna hop around for some saves today. Take a look. Yeah. Right, let's go. At least somebody have a fast travel here. I don't on this save. Okay, let's try to find another one. Load. Might be this one. One of these ones I did. I think it was this one. Are you kidding me? I don't know which one it is, dude. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Drill vid, no. All claims? Possibly? Oh, come on! These are all DLC ones, so yeah, that's gonna rip it up. Cause I don't want to drive there.
Lazy bastard.
I guess we're gonna have to. I guess we're gonna have to. I don't believe I have fast travel, but I think I might. Maybe. I do. Don't even... You know what, Margos? You know what? We just started, okay? Alright, off to a great start, boys. We did have it. I didn't think I had fast travel unlocked for it. Alright, so yeah, obviously you put your first nuggetator on this, if you can get it there. Right on this one, like you're saying. I'm not gonna abuse you, you dingus. The second one, I always try to put as close as I can to the thing. In between's a little rough because you have this bump here. You can get them in between. But what that's going to lead to is it's going to lead you to an issue where you're always jumping up and out and in, which is fine. I mean, but generally, if you want to put it on this side here. So Rivertown, you might want to run just 3 nuggetators. So 1 on this side, 1 in the middle, and then 1 over here on this side. That way you can grab these, just walk back, crouch down, you know, crouch, put them in, and grab them really fast. Are leaderboards done or not? They should be ending tonight at some point. It ends today. Dude, thank you much for gifting the sub up, man. Leave the nuggetators running. So leaving the nuggetators running, you're going to want to make sure that you reinforce them before you do so. If you turn them off, especially in wintertime, you're going to break all the water hoses going to them. So in wintertime, always leave them running, regardless if you have them upgraded or not to reinforced. And during the thing, I mean, I tend to just always leave them running. But you can turn them off. Just make sure you leave your buttons on a side that's easy to push. So just walk up, turn it on, jump on top of it, jump on top of your jig, and then clean all your stuff out. On this one, face it this way, so the button's here, and this one as well, face on this side. So it's just click, turn it on, turn it on, turn it on, or you can just use the power cord as a off and on. This claim and Nighthawk are both notorious for having very bad, you know, min-maxed setups for Nuggetators because they don't have like the side on the right hand side of the jigs is not very good. Yeah, don't use the crates. So when you're handling mats and buckets, try to always use just your character because you gotta think if you're grabbing an item and you're putting it in, say you're grabbing an item, right? And you're putting it into the crate. And then you have to take that item and grab it and put it into whatever it's going to go into. You're just doubling or tripling the amount of times you're clicking on the item. The more and more times that you're clicking and dragging onto items, the more things you're spending not digging. So if you can go directly from something into something else, it's just faster. So eliminate anything that's going to make you have to, well, grab more objects, right? So old Arnold placement's obviously easy. Just put them on the ramps and put them on the ramps here. They will give you every once in a while will give you you know, this item has to be on a flat surface. Just kind of keep picking it up and putting it down, and eventually it'll allow you to plug it in. Same thing goes for let's see, Nighthawk placement as well. Let's go. I think I have a Nighthawk perk. Yep, I can. Go to fast travel there. Yeah, and the things are just buggy, right? So they're kind of a pain. And for my placement on Nighthawk, I generally do for the Nuggetators, I go ramp, in between, and I put one right here. Right, so that way I can stand here and just grab them and put them in like this. This pole will get in the way a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to grab and just pull down, and or go grab and then move it like this and then down, because it'll go around the pole and then down inside. Yeah, I do not use the other one. No, so sometimes if I'm running the rock truck and I wanted to get into a good rhythm, I'll only change one side. So when the swap happens, it's always on this side, right? So I'll let both of them fill up, right? I'll let both sides fill, and then I'll only change this side every once in a while. I'll just go blah 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 blah, clean, put them back in, and I won't touch this side, but it'll take and clean out these mats. And then I'll come over here and do the same thing and clean out all these, right, really fast. And I'll just leave them running. But then what that means is you always have to be on top of your plant. So just remember, every 5 dump trucks, you're going to have to come up here and do that, or else these are going to get full really fast. But that's a quick way to bypass the Nuggetators on each side. Yark, dude, thank you much for the 100 biddies, man. And Hunter, dude, for his Splitting Games community. A total of, dude, thank you much, man. Thank you much for gifting subs, you guys. Appreciate that. So that's pretty much how you can do that to gain a little bit more speed. Like, instead of jumping over here and cleaning out both sides, you can just leave. So it'll always swap to this side first, right? It'll always swap to the right side first when your mats come clean, when they're swapping over. Right? So hype train level 1, 69%, dude. Thank you guys. That's awesome. You guys are badass, man. So it'll always switch over to this side first. So this side's fine, but double fill them, let all the mats fill up, and then only clean this side for over here, and that'll give you a nice little fast cleanup session where you're doing one mat at a time. Just leave the other ones alone. Like leave these ones full, and obviously these ones won't matter. So if you want to just run one Nuggetator here and one over there, you can automatically just swap them in and clean them. So it's every 5 trucks. You're gonna have to come up here and deal with it though. But that's a way just to be at the wash plant really fast, right? I'll behave then. All right, so pretty much that's how you deal with the mats when you have really weird, you know, this claim and Rivertown are a pain in the ass. Pine Valley, on the other hand, so Pine Valley's great, and Old Arnold is absolutely fantastic as well for Nuggetator placements on the side. Okay, and that's, you know, if they ever change it, then, well, we're gonna have to readjust. But if anything, I'd just put them down here next to the Duplex jigs, and one in between, and right here. But other than that, put them on these ramps, clean this side out, be done. So once you clean this out, though, it'll swap the mats, right? If you let them go to 100%, they'll swap. That way you can do a double clean on both sides. And the rungs are clean and the mats are clean. That'll give you 2 runs you can do. And then just leave the other ones full. All right. Anything else I need to touch on? Any other questions about the Nuggetator since we were on that subject? Anybody have any questions with the Nuggetator? Like I said, we're just here answering questions today for a couple hours, guys. Anything you guys can think of that you want me to show you guys, you know, with the game or whatever it is. We'll get into some tips and tricks and stuff like that. Or if we run into them at the same time, it's kind of like ask a question. I'll give you how I do it and kind of what my theory is behind it and all that good happy stuffs. So yeah, dude, anything, guys. Anything you guys want to talk about other than anything that has to do with exploiting or things like that. We won't be covering any of that stuff. That was all the questions, bro. What claim do you think bets? I guess I'm saying better to place them on. Old Arnold and Pine Valley are the 2 best as far as placement for Nuggetators on the ramps for easiest cleanouts. Statistically, my fastest cleanups have always been on those 2 claims. Just because they can sit on the side racks and it's easy to grab one whole side, and then they can clean. And while so with that being said, we'll go ahead and go into a clean out rotation. So let me go to Pine Valley. I know you guys have watched me do this numerous times, so we'll just go to Pine. All right, so another strat you can use to make your cleanups go faster is you put a wavetable here. That way you can just take your buckets from the ST and put them right into the wavetable right up here. So if you can run a wavetable here, that's really good. That way you don't have to take your buckets, throw them down, right? You don't gotta chuck them down here like that and then go down there and clean them up, right? And then put them in there, right? Because you generally want these buckets to go into there. Since you're running either Duplex jigs, now if you're running gravel pumps, it's only 1 bucket per clean out. So you can just go blang, blam, and you're done, right? So generally what you want to do is you want to start with your Nuggetators first. You know, put them in, right? Jump down here, do the side, or do both of them first, then deal with these buckets. Because these take a little time. So what you want to practice is you want to practice getting down your speed to where you're like, you know, putting these all in. Both sides, jumping. Blam, 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 blam. And then while those are still going, dump in your buckets like that. So if you started the chain, if you started your thing from up here, you do your clean out, you jump out, come over this way, grab your bucket, into a wavetable. If it's 2, put 2 in, then jump down onto this, fill, over, fill, down, in, and then back up to this and pull them out, put those in, out, in, and you're good, right? So then you're just sitting there waiting for a second. So 3 wavetables is better. Yeah, 3 wavetables is better. It definitely runs a lot better. Hype train success. Thank you guys, man. So yeah, I generally, sometimes like in season 10, you notice I was running really min-max. Put your buckets up here. Put a wavetable up here. Right, so you don't have to have any extra buckets, because extra buckets equal lag, especially if you're on a low-end computer. It'll minimize the amount of buckets that you need, and it'll minimize the amount of times you're running up and down this stupid hill wasting time. Okay. Well, that's pretty much how I deal with the cleanouts to speed them up. When you're playing the normal version of the game, I'll get to the worker question here in a little bit, because I know a lot of people are going to want to talk about that. So when you're doing magnetite, the only thing you're going to want to do is put a magnetite separator in between first. So you go into your magnetite separator, and then the bucket goes into this, right? So, and just do it on both sides, because you don't want to be waiting for magnetite, right? So magnetite, wavetable, up atop, magnetite, wavetable. I know it seems like a lot of magnetite wavetables, but it saves you a lot of time. Last thing you want to be doing is waiting for magnetite separation to be happening, and then waiting for the cleanout to be happening, right? So that'll shave a lot of time off of your cleanups, and therefore any time you shave off will give you more gold output, or more dirt output, because you have just more time digging, right? Right, let's see what... Okay. All right, workers. Workers. Take a look at leaders. Congrats to Bilko, man. He's putting in a lot of hours here this last few days. Congrats to him. Nobody's gonna catch him unless anybody has a big giant cleanup. And congrats to everybody else on the top 10. Hopefully you guys, looks like you guys are still duking it out for that top 10 spot on non-DLC. Awesome, dudes. It's been a fun leaderboard. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't play a lot more during the leaderboard or anything like that, but congrats to everybody who's been putting in a lot of hard work and playing the leaderboards and or using the leaderboards to learn to get better. That's awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop to a new save. Load. No. Main menu. Do I have a video showing? Yes, I do. It's one of my older videos. So I don't have the actual link to it right now. It's on my YouTube channel, Splitintwo Gaming. Link should be down in the description here. We're gonna go new game, easy. No, don't need the tutorial. I'm just gonna use dollar mode so I can show you guys what it is without having to do anything like any pre-prep or anything like that. We're gonna go ahead and go over the worker, pretty much the worker on normal mode and how to get them more efficiently than using save scrubbing or any type of glitching or anything like that. So that way, because it's a little difficult to understand sometimes. Here's the split in two warning. All right, let's go ahead and go gold. Sorry, escape. Let's go settings, game. Everything costs $1 enabled. Fly back out. Okay. So for this to work on PC, right? Now on console, it's a little harder because you don't. It's gonna be harder because you're probably not gonna be able to afford fast travel by the time that you do this technique, right? So, say you've been. We'll throw a little ground story in here so you guys aren't so confused. So, say for instance, I've been digging into tier 2, right? I've been digging in the tier 2, and I've farmed up enough money to get my whole tier 3 wash plant, right? That's the scenario. We have enough money. We have like $300,000 to $500,000, right? And so we're just gonna lock some stuff here real quick. Let's go Old Arnold. We're just gonna lease it. Doesn't matter. Okay, exit out. Now, if you're on PC, the very first thing you want to do in the game is when you start getting money, Not after you've gotten your nuggets, but once you start getting nuggets from the tier 2, you're going to want to unlock fast travel for 20k. Right, you're going to need this one right here. Then you're going to go to Old Arnold, and you're going to make sure you get that fast travel unlocked as well. This is going to save you a massive amount of time if you need to come back to town. Yeah. Story page, blah, 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 blah. The Mega Cut Colossal Cut was a series that I did before the game became like super arcadey, and it took a lot longer to dig the claims out. And there was way more gold in the claims too, so the scoop size on the excavator was a lot smaller also. So it took a lot longer to move all that dirt out of the claims, so. Egg, what's up, buddy? Okay, so go ahead and get over to claim as fast as we can here. Okay, so we'll just use this save since it's fresh. Make sure that's unlocked. All right. So after you've farmed, so what we're talking about if you're just joining now, guys, is we're talking about how to unlock the workers. When, we're using dollar mode just to show you guys. Like I say, we've already farmed enough money. We've already farmed enough money with tier 2, right? We put a big dent in the claim with the tier 2s. We've already done the hog pan step from the video. So if you're looking at trying to figure out how to optimize and what you need exactly and how you get through the hog pan, I do have a video for that already on YouTube. So just go ahead and watch that. That'll teach you how to get everything you need just to get going and as fast. This should only take you 30 minutes for the stage. So you've done all the dirt, all that crap. You've gotten your 30 ounces of nuggets, and then you started grinding in your tier 2. So you've grinded all of your nuggets in tier 2. You've gotten a bunch of nuggets. You have all that gold, and you have all those buckets. Clean those buckets out. Let the claim owner take his share, and it'll leave you with what you need. Hopefully, you have enough money. It should be, like I said, around $400,000 to $500,000. And then what you want to do is you want to get rid of anything on your claim that you have. So anything that a worker can be tied to. All right. So if you have the worker, if you have the hog pans here, you need to sell those. They need to be gone. You need to get rid of the hog pans. The hog pan container and the cores. You got to get rid of them because workers can be tied. There's workers for those. Right. So you got to get rid of those. You have to sell them. You have to get rid of your tier 2s because workers can go in tier 2s. You don't want tier 2 workers. Then you also have to get rid of any heavy equipment that you have. Say a drill, excavator, front loader. You have to get rid of it. You have to get rid of anything that a worker that can go for a worker. And at this point in time, it should only be hog pans and tier 2s. So before you do this step, save the game. After you've already cleared everything off, save the game. Save it like starting at worker. Doesn't matter what it is. Save game. Right? So that way, if you made a mistake, because you can mess this up badly if you forget a hog pan. So say everything's stripped. You don't have to get rid of cables and stuff like that. Just make sure the hog pans are gone, and the heavy equipment is gone. So once you've gotten to this stage and you're sitting here and you're like, okay, cool, I got everything that I need. Everything's gone. What you're gonna want to do? You're gonna want to leave your truck over here, right? Just leave it there. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fast travel to the shop. So travel. By gone, you mean sell, not store, correct? Yes. Completely gone. You can't have them in anywhere. They have to be completely sold. Danny, dude, welcome, man. Welcome, dude. Okay, so then when you come over to the store, so everything will be gone at this point, right? You've already sold everything. Everything's gone. Gonzo. Now we're going to talk about order of objects coming into your claim. So just pretend, like I said, we already have $500,000-ish. We're roughly, in summer. We just hit, like, say it took you 10 days to get all those buckets, right? and mined all those nuggets. Then you should have gotten your clean out done. You should have some magnetite. You should have upgraded your blacksmith a little bit. That's all irrelevant to what we're doing here. So you'll have all that money. The items that I go for first, because you also have to remember there's RNG involved on if you're going to get the workers after a certain point. So we're going to take, and the very first thing that we would buy would be a TDJ. Now these are cheap enough. You can just, you can just buy these ones. So you just buy one TDJ, right? Now these don't have to come to your claim. These can just stay here. I tend to bring them to the claim because I'm going to need them there anyways, right? So you'd purchase it, take it, teleport it there, and then go back to Old Arnold. And then right when you hit here, when you load back into OA, jump to your truck. Oh, we don't have to run that whole distance. Go to the tablet. So do not unlock the workers until you're ready to do this process. Because if you unlock the worker, the very first thing that you're going to get is something that you had on the claim. So now that there's nothing on the claim that a worker can be tied to, your very first worker will be the TDJ. See? TDJ. You don't have to hire him right now, right? So then, now you got one TDJ worker. You always get a worker for that thing. So see how we got the TDJ? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here. Do the thing. We're going to go to Dawn. Wait a second. Alright, do the Halloween event and get 500G. Yeah, I think there's a gold bar or something like that. They're sitting there somewhere. And then there's, see now we just skipped and now we have another worker, right? So now we have 2 TDJs waiting for us. It's just a 17.6 ounce bar. Yeah, it's a nice little boost. Okay, so now you can see we have 2 TDJs. That is huge. That is like having 2 TDJ workers very early off in this game is a massive boost. Some people play for hundreds, like 100 hours plus, and they don't get 2 TDJ workers, right? So now you can see the benefit of doing this. Okay, you have 2 TDJ workers. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to save the game, right? You're gonna save it, overwrite the one we already had, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back so we don't need the vehicle, so we can just kind of do its thing. And we're going to go for the other piece that automates the plant. We're going to go for the ST. We're going to add one of those. Order. ST. Move machine. And then we're going to go right back to Old Arnold. Travel. Teleport to truck. Then we're gonna skip a day until we get a worker. We're gonna cross our fingers. That's an ST. Like I said, there's some RNG involved in this because we already have the TDJ here. We could get triple TDJ, which is bummer, but we're gonna see if we get lucky. And we got another TDJ, which is fine. We're not really trying to dig in season 1. We're trying to get the workers that we want. We want to automate the plant. Right, so we're just gonna do it again. Until we get another worker. Should be a couple days. Limited time offer. You can also take a note to those that are doing, we're just kind of skipping the sales right now. Somebody wants to work for you. Let's hope it's a TDJ. Not a TDJ. We want an ST. Now you could sell the TDJ to guarantee an ST. But see, look. We got an ST. It only took a couple days. We got an extra TDJ worker, but oh well. If we got an extra TDJ worker, that might not be a bad thing because look, if we would have gotten a crappy one, So on the first one, we got a 38%. That's almost high enough. That's 3 more days, and he'll be able to level up to level 2. That means you gain an extra performance to washplant, and you gain a swap on the mats. He's a little lower, but and he's a little higher. So that's 2 extra days. So that means he needs 6 more days before he can upgrade to a level 2. And then the ST was crappy. That's 25%, but that's okay. Because we're going to keep swapping, and that's what it is. So once you get your ST worker, save the game. Overwrite. Same thing, bring up the map. We're going to go back to town. Thought there's a problem with stream. Gonna go back to town. So we've gotten the TDJ workers for automation of the plant swapping. That part's done. We got an ST now. That part's done. Now the other part that helps you do the automatic clean out swapping is the duplex jig. So grab yourself a duplex jig. Now remember, you would have the money to pay for this, so we're just doing dollar mode so I don't have to go grind a bunch of shit. So, get your duplex jig. It's got to come to your place anyway, so you might as well bring it. And then we go back. Travel. Swap to vehicle. Jump out. And Skippy days. Done. Somebody wants to work for you. Okay. Let's hope it's a duplex. We're crossing fingers. No. 17%, even garbage. Okay, see, this is where the RNG kicks in. If you're not trying to cheat and you're trying to do it, you got to eat the RNG. That's why you want your first season is for hiring workers and setting up your claim. Right? So, this is how you do it without cheating. Without reverting your saves and being an exploiter, right? So, yeah, we're going to go in, and hopefully we cross our fingers. And we get awaiting duplex jig. We got one. See? Awesome. And we're just going to keep skipping until we get another one. I'm not really worried. Like I said, I'm not worried about sale prices. But if you're seeing things on sale that you need to grab, make sure you get your duplex jigs and everything like that first. Somebody wants to work for you. Workers waiting. Cross your fingers for a duplex jig, and we got them. They're very terrible, but that's okay. It's all right. You got them. You'll probably end up getting more too. Okay, save your game. You got both of your duplex jig workers. And you got your TDJs. So at this point right now, let's see how many days we consumed. We are 7 days to autumn, so we used 13 days. So if you had to, if it took you 10 days to mine all the dirt that you needed to mine to get to this point, like with the tier 2, so say 75 to 100 buckets and the corresponding nuggets that you would have gotten, you're actually sitting at, you'd be sitting in autumn with 7 days to winter. Okay, so that means you'd have like 7 days to winter to go, and you're going, oh crap, okay, I only have the automation portion of my wash plant complete. Right, so that means you have your ST for the bucket swapping, and you have your 2 TDJs for mat swapping on one side, so that's going to speed up your cleanouts automatically, as well as you have your duplex jigs, which will give you an extra bucket for swapping there as well. So that is huge. That is the biggest thing that you can do. That is the biggest thing that you can do for yourself going into running a tier 3 setup. Is automatically having those set of workers. Those workers are the most important workers in the game. There's no other more important workers than that. Like the other ones are nice. They give bonuses, they stop breakdowns, but they don't automate they don't swap any buckets or anything like that for you. One big gigantic pain in the ass is having to lift these grates up, turn your water off, lift the grates, clean the mats, put the grates back on and everything, and then keep going. That is going to slow you down more than anything. as well as having to do them up here as well. You know, turn everything off, scoop all the dirt out, put it into the buckets, and stuff like that. So that consumed 13 days. I think a majority of you guys watching, there's no way you shouldn't be able to farm 100 buckets out of a tier 2 or double tier 2 in that period of time. And I do have a video coming out for the tier 2 portion of this game, even though it's kind of obsolete with drilling for PC, but console players still need to know it. So that is coming out here in the next few weeks. So now that you have those workers, oh wait, they're waiting. You don't have to hire them yet because you're still skipping days, right? So you don't need to hire them. Not that big. You just need to have them. Because if you hire them, you're gonna have to pay their price per day, right? So you have those workers. Cool, awesome, great, you got them, right? Now now what you want to do is you want to go for the items that are going to be giving you a boost, right? Because you'll have more days left, right? Use the whole season just to get the workers that you need. Buy the most expensive pieces closer to winter, because that's when they're cheaper, right? You're not going to get the max perfect thing for your thing, right? So the next piece, since you already have 2 duplex jig workers and an ST, and you know all the automation, go for your trommel, right? So trommel's next, and rinse and repeat until you're all the way to the end of the season, and you have majority of your main core wash plant, like trommel, shaker worker, all of those things done, right? Don't worry about the equipment workers right off the bat, right? Do not worry about the equipment workers. Just, yeah, you're more focused on getting the bonus to wash plant is what you're more focused on at this point in time. So all of these pieces will give you a bonus to the wash plant. So the order would be trommel. So it's like I said, the order is TDJ, ST, duplex jigs, trommel, shaker. Then go for hopper and the conveyor, right? Because if you go in that order, the more expensive pieces are at the end. Well, sorry, you can skip. Go. Try to get your shaker. I'd go for your shaker after the trommel, because sometimes if you don't end up getting a shaker worker, I'd rather have a shaker worker because that adds a bigger bonus than these two, right? So these two are like kind of like an afterthought to the process. Your shaker and your trommel are more important. It's a pity that most of what you say I don't understand. You'll get it. It'll come in. The gist of what I'm talking about once you're playing and stuff like that. We'll take this video I will put on YouTube. This VOD I'll put on YouTube. So that way you guys can kind of go back and watch it and stuff like that. But that is pretty much how you get all of the workers. And then what you do is you keep getting all your workers, hook everything up, bring all the stuff to your claim, hook up your tier 3. And then you'll be in season 2 with all the good workers that you need and your wash plant that's purchased that you've owned. And you don't have any money coming out from the loans. You won't have any money coming out from renting. And then right when you come right into the next season, make sure you have enough money to rent your large excavator and rent a rock truck for a couple thousand a day. Right? So each one of these should be no more than 5K a day. And with a purchased wash plant, you won't have any other pieces rented, and then you'll have, well, then all your workers will probably cost you less than a couple, like, you know, 15,000. No, I think they're all completely separate, creature. I believe that they're all separate from one another. I don't believe it cascades from the top down. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't multiply as it goes down through the chain. Yo, what's up, Shane? Yeah, some of these questions are really advanced and advanced strategies and stuff like that, and I just want to try to get through them as much as I possibly can. As well, any other questions, guys? Like, so that's how you get the workers. That's how I do it without cheating or exploiting. Skipping days is perfectly fine. It's a portion of the game. Nobody says that you have to mine a whole season. Nobody says you have to, right? Nobody says you have to mine a whole season. If you get what you need to get your tier 3 and you would like to get your workers using this strategy, then just do that and then get to the end of the season, shut down your mine site, and then go to the next season and start that brand new season 2 with all of your stuff and all of your workers, and you'll have a much more enjoyable experience playing the game when you don't have any loans. You have only thing that's coming out is worker cost and renting the large excavator and the dump truck, and you won't be getting pulverized by bills. Then you can focus on buying the claim because there's still quite a bit of it left. Frankenstein help. Okay, we can move on from that, right? I think we've pretty much established that getting the workers, how to get the workers, the order from start to finish, on how to get all your workers pretty easily. Frankenstein, best time to use them, when to use them. Okay, so Frankensteins. Do I have? I might need to turn on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn on DLC for this one. So that means I'm gonna have to close the game. Give me 2 seconds, guys. 1 sec here. Let me actually turn my DLC back on. Let me open up Steam. Steam. Yes, so if you're trying to turn off DLC, you go into your games library, right click on Gold Rush the game, go into properties, then go into DLC, and then if you want it off, turn it off. If you want it on, make sure that's checked. It will. Then I have to close game. Sorry for the Elgato screen, boys. Okay, let's open the game back up. Load game. Let's see here. Season 15 might work. Can I yeah, I can show you guys how to use Frankenstein. Absolutely. We'll go into Frankenstein use. Here. Talk about the Frankenstein for a little bit. Do I think it's better? It's always better to... It depends on how much money you're pulling in. It really depends. All right. Did I already reset on this one? Yeah, I did. All right. Sorry, guys. Just have to filter through what claims are which. No. Gotta find one with all the stuff in there. Season 11 works. Season 10 OMG. Sure, let's see if this one works. Like I said, you can see my saves, how many times I've grinded, and this is not even all of my backup save files that are exactly the same over the years. For 5 years, I've gotten to T3 like 100 times. T5, 100 times, I mean. Easy. Let's see, do I have some Frank set up here? I do. Nice, perfect. We got some light action going on too. All right. Okay, so you see, it's pretty much the same setup, exactly what I'm doing. We're running full tier 5 in this. Well, yes, we have full tier 5. Full tier 5. We have our Frankie Franks lined up. What's up, Flower? Welcome, first time chatters. Welcome. All right. So, pretty much, thank you for the follow as well. Appreciate that. So, as you can tell, we have the Franks lined up. A lot of people have been asking me this lately, so we're just going to show it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, like I said, right now we're on the Frankensteins. We've already kind of showed the... Let's go ahead and put this down here. So much nicer with the sun up? Yeah, let me, I gotta turn everything off here. 1 second, dudes. Because if I bump it, I won't have... Everything's gonna run out and break. Welcome. Belt is still running. Let's turn the lights off real quick. Sorry, my... Okay, that's off. And welcome, guys. Welcome. Yeah, let me, make sure my binds are okay. I haven't used Frankenstein for a while. Turn this plant off a little bit here. Okay. Make sure the excavator is off, because I'll be trying to use that. Yep, that's off. Ah, sneezed. Oof. Okay. Turn it off. Turn off the plant as well. And I'm sure probably something will end up saying, hey, whatever. Okay. And we'll just skip to dawn. I play Gold Rush, the game, as well. Been having a difficult time finding the junkyard for the junkyard stories. I have a video for that on YouTube. Shane, could you get the link for that, dude? It'll show you where all the pieces are. Or any one of my moderators. Okay, so Old Arnold. The likelihood that you use... We'll just use it for this demonstration. The likelihood that you use Frankensteins on Old Arnold is not really. But, so setting up your Franks, you know, how far can I get back into the claim is one thing I've heard quite a bit. Right, so... So when first thing I'm going to teach you guys when aligning the Franks to the wash plant is when you're trying to figure out if it's going to drop into the hopper of the wash plant, change your camera to, what is it? See, we're sliding a little bit. Make sure Frank is stable first, right? You're going to go camera 4, all right? So camera 4 will give you the boom at the end of the boom, right? See how it's connected to this swivel point? Go all the way up where you can't look anymore. So drag your mouse down or your joystick down if you're on controller or whatever. So go all the way up. Since you can't zoom on controller, it'll just be default, but look straight down at it. And then if it's like this, it's most likely going to fall right down and in. So just kind of back it off a little bit. Is the discount from the stories worth getting during the leaderboard run? Yes, it is if they're on the way for what you're trying to get. All right, so generally your first placement is the most important, right? So your very first Frankenstein, see how his tracks are a little off right here? What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that this will cause slippage, and people get really irritated with the slippage of the Frank. Right, so the Frank slippage is kind of the biggest thing that you have to battle. So you want to make sure the tracks are as flat as possible. So I'm just going to turn them a little bit, right? And then recheck the thing. Turn off the engine. Gotta check to see if are we sliding at all. No, we're not. It's pretty solid, right? It's pretty much in place. You see it's kind of off a line, but it's not too bad. So that's how far you can get with one Frankenstein on this claim. It doesn't even make it all the way down to the bottom of the flat. So if you're sitting here trying to get the rock truck to not have to go all the way up the hill, and yes, you can use rock truck in the back. Right here, right? But it's going to be a pain trying to back it up to here on that angle and dump it in. Plus, it's like, you see it's not really on the ground, flat, exactly. So that's why most claims you need 2 Franks to get to the bottom of the pit. Right, so you're going to take your second Frank. You're going to take your second Frankenstein, and you're going to shorten him all the way up. Right, so generally if you have 3 Frankensteins and you're really shallow in the beginning part of the claim, you can just use 3 shortened Franks right off the bat and then extend them as you go. Always align your Franks from the wash plant back. The reason why I say that is because this. If you do anything that bumps the thing, you're going to mess your whole alignment up, and then you're going to be sitting there fiddling with your Franks constantly trying to get them to realign, right? So always go from the wash plant backwards. How much dirt can it hold? I think it's 2 dump trucks worth, I believe. I wouldn't quote me on that one. I never really pay attention to exactly how much they hold. I just fill them up, man. You know what I mean? So Frank's hopper is immense, right? It's a massive hopper in the game, right? So one way you can do this is, say if you're more back towards the mid part of your cut, right? Let's go and depress the back. Yeah, it was a little bit more messed up there. And the same thing goes for this, right? So lining that up. Now, when you're lining up Frankenstein, you can drop dirt anywhere from here to here inside the hopper. The hopper extends like all the way up into here, right? So if you drop it any higher, the rocks will just roll down and eventually get to here. But try to drop it right in between here. If you can drop it. If preferably you want to drop it right into this basket thing right here, right? So let's go ahead and grab the front end loader again. And I'm going to show you a digging technique that I use with the front end loader and Frankenstein. So a lot of people are attacking the wall face like this. Here, I'll show you. It doesn't matter if it's lined up or not. You guys will get the gist of it. A lot of people are attacking the wall face like from the front, or their dirt is like here, right? So that means they have to back up like this, turn, and twist, and then drop, right? That's pretty common. Just because the way you have your cut pattern, right? And this isn't bad. It's not a bad technique. It works. You can do it. Ooh, whoops. And try not to flick your bucket too far either, because you'll just fling rocks everywhere. But if you can cut a trench back along the side of your cut, you can come at the wall face like this. Obviously, it'd be a little closer than this, but... And then you can drop it in like that. So it's less movement to do this than it is to go all the way back, revert, and so on and so forth. This, when you see me pushing massive yards, I'm generally using this technique, right? So I'm generally just kind of hitting it and moving like that, little wiggles at a time, not the full thing, right? You'll drop a little bit of dirt. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's just mainly trying to keep this thing rolling. Once you get good enough at this technique, you will literally always have dirt going up to the wash plant, and there'll be no gaps in pay in your belt. That means you are hauling ass, right? You're just moving dirt, and your wash plant will fill up very, very quickly. Once you can master the ability to get your Frank and cutting, you can use the excavator too, whatever your fancy is, but definitely incorporate the front end loader into your gameplay. 100% you need to learn both of them. So pretty much that cut pattern is what I use to, I always cut down. So we'll take a look at the gold map. And this really does apply to Frankenstein in maximizing your yardage. All right, so say this whole claim was dirt here, right? I would cut these out first along this wall here, and then delete these squares with the front end loader just by dropping them into the ground, which I'll show you that technique here in a second. I would cut all the way back to open up access to these. That way Frank could come down. I could literally just do that technique all the way forward and just tear the crap out of this. Like, just push this all out, right, as quickly as possible. That's you just want to make sure your equipment's going as much as you can. You never really want to be sitting there going like this at your wash plant. Like, every time I watch people playing this game, they're always like, where does this stuff go? Like, and I understand if you're new, that's common, but you gotta get rid of that. That's going to slow you down, right? Like I said, gotta streamline what you're doing if you want to get the big yards. If you want to hit that 4,000 yard plus per day, you gotta get rid of all the things that are stopping you and holding you up. When you're at the wash plant, you should be there for no longer than a couple minutes, right? Real quick swaps, because Frankenstein is going to be just pummeling dirt into your wash plant. It's relentless. And what's really bad is when you take so long at the wash plant, by the time that you get back to there, all your belts are dry. They're running, they're all dry, but there's nothing. Then you have to wait for all the dirt to go back up the conveyor chain again and start dropping back down. What you want to master is using Frankenstein. You're so fast with your equipment that when you're filling Frankenstein, by the time you're ready to go do that cleanup and you get an indicator that something's full up here, or you know by it, okay, it just swapped. I have roughly 15 minutes or 10 minutes before I have to go back up there and then do a complete clean out. Your goal is to try to fill this thing up as fast as you can. So that way, while they're all running, you still have a bonus in here, in the hopper back here. For me, I can fill this thing up to 50%, get to the wash plant, and do the whole cleanup and get back before this, it's 0. That is your ultimate goal. That is how you run massive yardage. Did you say 4,000 yards a day? Yes. 4,000 yards a day is where, with Frankenstein, if you're running 4,000 yards a day, that means you are you're pretty much on the pro level, because you know you want to be running on average over 3,500 yards a day. So say for instance you are running, it's 2 hours in game, right? If you're running on 12x speed. So at 12x speed, you have 2 hours real life time to equal 1 day in game. Your job in this game, in a nutshell, is to make sure that that plant up there is always processing dirt. And if you do that, you'll be pushing almost 6,000, a little over like 6,700 yards a day. My record is a little like it was like 6,020 yards is the fastest I've ever ran dirt. So is almost as close to perfect as you can get. Right, we've never seen anybody do any higher than that. During season, what was it, season 10 and season, what was it, 15, I held an average of over 4,300 yards a day. That's with doing cleanouts. That's continually running pay. How do you handle the refueling of Frankensteins? That's another great question. So with Frankensteins, generally you're going to have a lot of money. So what you would want to do is you want to park a large fuel container right next to them, right? So the hopper, because this is what you need to fill. This is what you're going to need to be filling, is this nozzle right back here, right? This nozzle right here. So in general, what you'd want to do is you'd want to bring one of those large fuel cans down and put them right here. So if your first Frank is always extended fully, and the only case that this wouldn't happen is if you are literally digging right here, right? But in most cases, you got to cut back into the claim, and like you'll be down here, right? So extend your first Frank all the way, and plop a container right here, or on the other side, doesn't matter. That way, all you have to do is just grab the hose, put it in, leave it there. Whenever this thing runs out, just pull the hose out, put it back in. It'll fill up. So this next one is the same thing. Just keep putting a large fuel container here. Because when you go to refuel them, what you're going to want to do when you go to your cleanup, right, and say you're filling, even if you can't fill this thing up to 50% or 100% while you're digging, because you'll be going through dirt so quickly that what you're going to want to do is instead of using a hot swap to the top of where your clean out is, like your truck, or yeah, pretty much you'll be using your truck, right? So what you want to do is you're going to want to go down your Frankenstein chain to your clean out. You're going to want to go in, fill, go up, fill, and then you're going to want to go to your clean out and do your whole clean out and then go. Or you can do it coming backwards. It doesn't matter, either or. Either or seems to be about the same. It's not that big of a deal. But I use the large fuel cans. Sometimes I get lazy. You guys will watch me playing. I don't really play full meta all the time. I kind of just half and half everything, but it's better just to teach you guys how to play meta. That way you understand like the full scale of what you need to accomplish as you're learning how to play this game. Because there's a lot to learn, and a lot of people spend a lot of time wasting time with those things, right? So let's see here. Am I forgetting anything about Frank? Am I forgetting about Frank? Oh, another thing you can do with Frankenstein here is, and a lot of people seem to not a lot of people seem to kind of forget this, that Frankenstein is pretty much a giant glorified rock truck, okay? Like, don't forget that. Do not forget that Frankenstein is pretty much a rock truck. He's just a big rock truck with a conveyor on him, right? Think about it that way, right? Like, okay, if Frankenstein's just a rock truck, why would you get a rock truck to go from here? 'Cause I see a lot of people doing this. They take a rock truck from like a wall face back here, and they come over here and dump. Well, why not just back the Frank up to the wall, fill the Frank, and then put him forward, right? And then just dump him off and then go do something, right? Go do something else while this hopper's going down, right? Now, you can do both, and that's where I see people messing up, and this is why I mentioned this, is because people will, if you have two Franks back here, you bring one back up against the wall face, fill him up real quick, drive him forward, dump him into the thing, take the other Frank, back it up, fill it up, and then just do that back and forth. Just use the Frank truck, pretty much use the Franks like rock trucks. They hold double the dirt, and they automatically will push up and dump. By the time you're done filling one Frankenstein, the other one should be getting ready to be done, right? So, yeah, I mean, you can just, and literally you can dump one and then put the other one like legit right next to it. So you can use Franks like rock trucks. It's always better to, yeah, I mean, there's not much to Frankenstein. It's mainly, oh, another thing too. One thing with Frankenstein, every time you close this game and you open it back up, jump in your first Frank and check the alignment. Always start from your, remember what the rule is? Always start from your front Frank. Because why would you align from the back forward when you have a chance at, then you have to keep doing all these micro adjustments, right? So the main key is getting dirt to the plant. So make sure you start from the front to the back. And when you log in, always make sure that your Franks are in alignment before you go to start running big amounts of dirt. Because what happens is if your Franks aren't aligned, it'll drop dirt and either delete it if you're on bedrock, or it'll make a gigantic pile of dirt into the sky. And that's not good. That causes lag. Right, Frankenstein. But that's about it. I mean, there's not much to Frank. He's pretty easy. He's a pain in the ass to move around. You know, it's a pain in the butt to move it around. But that's pretty much how I use him to push maximum yardage. Let's back him up real quick and put some dirt into him real quick. All right. Actually, yeah. Let's move on from Frank. Let me scroll back here. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Let's see. No, I read that. Let's see. What speed? What speed? Don't drop into the conveyor. Yeah, don't drop all the way up on the top of the belt like I was saying. If you're dropping it from the side with the front end loader, so the front end loader's blade will probably be the width of this right here. Don't drop any higher than this bar right here on your thing, right? So that'll be like right here. Anything from here lower is fine. Up, it just you lose dirt. So try to keep it right here if you're loading from the side. Or from the front with a Frank, or if you're from the front, you can literally just pull right up to it and put it there. Yeah. All right, so you said yesterday that the start of the claim is random on Leaderboard. Is that random per person or random per season? So the start of the claim is a random. It's not random. They do have an order to it, right? And so they do have an order to it. So what was it? This time was Rivertown, right? I believe it was Rivertown, wasn't it? Okay, this was Rivertown. The next one will probably be Nighthawk, or I believe that's how the order's been going. So it's like, I think it goes River, Nighthawk, Pine, and it goes Pine, or it goes River, Pine, Nighthawk, or something like that. So, and it's the same for everybody, the way that goes. However, to answer an extended question, right now the developers and myself are working on trying to make sure that we can get rid of cheaters. And the best way that I could recommend to them would be to make sure that everybody gets the same dirt, right? So that's what the problem was with this leaderboard, was that all the claims were not the same for everybody. So therefore, some people had better claims and some people didn't, and it still left an exploitable way of doing it. That's why now you see there's a number up here on PC where it says the seed. We all have the same seed. That means we should have exactly the same claims, but we don't. So it seems like they're working on trying to fix that. There were some issues with that they had when they coded it. This leaderboard was kind of botched pretty hard, but hey, it happens. When you change this leaderboard, they changed the most amount of things that they've ever changed in one shot. So, but they're doing it to try to combat the cheaters that are exploiting and stuff like that, right? So it's worth the time and the mess ups, and I know that they apologize on the inconvenience of the leaderboard, but it's all for the betterment of the game, guys. It really is. Damn, how many ounces? I think it's like 31,000 or something like that. Yeah. It's a lot of gold, dude. A lot of gold. This season was a banger. This was season 10. All right. What else do we need here? What else we got, dudes? What else we got, dude? Questions. Let's go. Throw them out. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Any dumb questions? It doesn't matter. There's no dumb question. That's all I'm doing today is just answering questions for you guys. Boo. What's up, Martin? Mr. Barty. Can I have coffee? No. No coffee for you. I guess I can go over digging style till somebody has a question, because we have stuff here. Oh yeah, we'll address the front end loader a little bit here. How far can I get with hard mode? Hard mode's easy mode for me, dude. Hard mode's like the normal mode that I play on, dude. As far as I want, man. Okay, so say you have a big pile of dirt. We'll just pretend that this gigantic wall face here in front of me is something that needs to go away, and I need to get it gone because it's crappy dirt and I don't want to run it. Okay, that's the scenario we're playing with. Take your bucket all the way to the bottom, down, curl, back and forth, in, out, in, out. It'll bounce, it'll rebound sometimes. Just gotta finesse it a little bit. Generally, I hold in until the bucket's full, because if you let go right when the rebound happens, it wants to go flying. So just hold on to it, keep applying pressure to the wall until your bucket's full, back out, drop on bedrock. So bedrock will delete dirt if dirt's dropped on it. Now, if you drop dirt on dirt, it just builds up, right? So, but this is how if you guys have ever seen, like, I log off for the night and then I come back and my claim is like perfectly prepped. This is how I do it, because you can cut through 10-15 squares in like 10 minutes. It's very fast. Very fast. Don't forget to have a break. I'm going for 2 hours on the how-to Q&A, guys. So I'm probably going to be doing this maybe every other week. And if you guys really like it and you still need more help and everything like that for new players and stuff, we'll probably start doing how-to Q&As more often. So, mainly because I just want to be able to help you guys without just sitting there digging and stuff like that. And when we're on leaderboards, and if I'm, sometimes it's a little bit of a pain to answer questions and then, stop what I'm doing and try to explain it, right? But that's why I want to kind of have days to kind of help out. And oh yeah, you good, man? You good? Yeah, every 2 hours. It's only been an hour and some change. As you can tell, this is how I use the loader. You don't need to move it much, up and down, just enough to dump a little bit of dirt and get rid of it. Now, another technique you can use is you can use the dozer by scraping the wall sideways. And I have a whole video, like a 2-hour live stream on how to use the dozer. So that you can find on my YouTube channel as well. So there's no point really going over the dozer because I already have a video for it. But people have been asking me the front loader, right? Like, dude, how do you do that to your claims so quickly? Like, you just seem like your prep is just ridiculously fast. And this is how I do it, pretty much. My secret weapon is the front end loader. Right, so you can see how fast you can chomp a square out and get rid of it and move it, right? So that's how I remove overburden squares and clean my claim out to the bottom. Old Arnold, is it in the list of claim rotation? Is it? I don't know. I don't think it is, because people just don't like Old Arnold. But what they do make is Old Arnold is still only $5,000 to lease. Right? So Old Arnold is cheap enough on all leaderboards to just lease it. But you would never want to mine on Old Arnold when, say, you have Pine Valley or Nighthawk at your disposal, right? So yeah, see, it's only like a minute a square that you can get rid of like this. So that's pretty dang quick, right? When do you use the excavator? Well, right off the bat, generally, when you go to run tier 2. You're going to be using the excavator to mine pretty much right off the bat. Whether it's the small one or the large one, it's pretty much is... I'll always rent the large one. There's no reason not. There's really no reason to get the small one. Okay, here's something here. I'm just going to say it right now. Please, for the love of everything that is holy, don't ever, 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 ever do this. Let me show you. Don't do this. No, just don't do this. This is something that Tony Beats and Parker Schnabel will come over and beat you guys up, okay, if they see you doing this. All right? If you're scooping the dirt and your fill pad or whatever you're trying to fill is like right here, for the love of everything that is holy, don't freaking make gigantic 180 turns and start scooping back here and then turning all the way around to drop your dirt. Please do not do that. Like, that will screw your yardage up more than anything. Because watch. That's one scoop. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And the time it takes you to rotate all the way over here for one scoop, I can damn near times you up times 6. Right? Just don't do it. It's just not good. You're just going to slow yourself down. That is the biggest mistake I see people doing in the front end loader. It is always better to move your wash plants to get more dirt, so you're not doing that. You only want to be making little quarter turns. Right? Little teeny scoops, like in. You never want to go... You can go over here, but it's just as bad. So you want to try to always stay within this pattern right here in front of you. That'll speed you up immense. If you stay within this dig, area. Could I go over how to read the gold map properly? Absolutely. No problem. Alright, gold map. We got some gold. Okay. Any square, it doesn't really matter. Alright. So when you drill a hole, there's a couple things here. So you've drilled your claim, right? I guess I should probably go over the difference between the drilling. On PC, when you drill one hole, it pops 4 holes. And it gives you a nugget. It can give you a nugget. It has a chance of giving you a nugget. Right? So, you're going to want to... And on console, when you drill, it gives you 1 hole. On console, for console players, you're bugged right now. And you really don't get a good reading of what's going on here. And when you're digging, it just shows up gray. Anyways, like the toggle square, right? So if you're toggling a square, right, you toggle... Well, those are dug out anyway, so I guess that's a bad example. Okay, let's go back here. Alright, see the little line that's around it? On console, I'm just going to address this because I know a lot of people are having issues with this. On console, you can't... Sometimes it'll work for you for a little bit, and then sometimes it won't. So what you want to do on console is, and this is probably going to be the most important thing for console players, is this question right here. Because right now, they're kind of bamboozled over there with no patch fixing this. In how many months it's been out? On PC, when you're digging, this thing will change based upon what gold you are in, right? Now, you don't need to make sure that every hole is drilled. And yes, you can zoom in on your gold map. You can zoom in on your gold map on PC and console. So on PC, on console, I recommend drilling just one hole right in the middle and then move to the next square. Don't eat a lot of time because it really doesn't matter. You just need one value or one number in general. You need to, so we're highlighting this square. You're going to be looking at this, right? You're not going to see any color on console. And if you do, it'll probably disappear very shortly and bug out on you like everybody else. But on PC, you're going to see your drill, right? The square you're on. And you're going to see how many drill hole numbers are in this square. Drill hole 1, 2, 3, right? Doesn't really matter. You're just looking for one of the squares. And see how they do change and they do vary between the holes? This is just going to give you a rough idea, right? This is going to give you a rough idea. Okay, so on console, it does mess up on reload. Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you for that information, Yark. So it's going to give you a rough idea of what the hole looks like. And as you can tell, most of the gold is good between -2 meters to 8 meters. So almost all the way down to the bottom. And what you're looking for is you're going to have total gold in the hole. You're looking for the total gold is relevant, but the richness is, well, these two numbers combined, right? You will never get the full amount of gold out of this number out of your wash plants, even running all the best gear, even running everything like that. I am not allowed to give you the number, the actual percentage of this. Okay, guys, I can't give you the actual number if you're running full meta. I'm not allowed to. That's up for you guys to do the math. I'm not allowed to do it. I'm not allowed to leak it. So you'll never get the full amount though. It'll always be some percentage based upon your wash plant configuration and your workers, right? So you're going to be getting the smaller, I'm trying to avoid leaking it here. You're always going to get a certain percent based upon your gear, right? So if you're digging in your claim, you're going to be getting 0.51 ounces per meter, right? If you're digging in this gold range. And obviously the lower, somewhere down in this area, it changes, right? As you're digging, this is your depth. So if you're looking at the square, right? You're going to have to eyeball this, right? You're going to have to eyeball it and kind of take a look at it and see what's going on with it. But generally, you want to make sure that when you're digging, like I said, on console, it's kind of crappy because when you dig, the color doesn't change. But on PC, when you're digging, you'll notice the color changes. That means you're hitting this gold vein based upon the color that you're digging in. It's pretty simple. It's really simple. If you're digging in a rich square and it's always gold, that just means you're not hitting the dirt in the right spot, right? So when you see me digging and I'm hitting the wall face, I'm generally trying to search by looking at the map. Okay, well, if I hit here and the gold color changes this, right? That means I'm not getting anything. There's literally no gold. But if I'm hitting in this color, it ranges from 0.51 ounces per meter. And it's probably going to range all the way from 0.87 ounces per meter, which is going to give me the better cleanups. So it's mainly just learning and watching your square by tabbing over, quick look, click the square that you're digging on, and go, okay, I need to make a shallow scoop here and kind of work my way down. But what I do, since I dig so quickly, and it's more, like I said, it's more of an advanced strategy, is I try to find where I'm hitting the wall face at the highest peak number. And I don't care about anything that's above because I'm going for the highest amount of scoops per going to the wash plant. And to debunk that theory a little bit, some people, what they don't realize is that when you're digging in the dirt, and say you dig up here, right? You can count the scoops and how many scoops that you will get out of this thing, whether you're digging from the top down or the bottom down. It's the same. You're still going to get the same amount of scoops. So I tend to snipe the gold out of the layers, right? That's why I dig on the side of the wall face like this. It's won me numerous leaderboards and has pushed. I've probably one of the highest gold per hour players in the game. Do you chew through a little bit more dirt? Yes. But generally you get just as much as everybody else. And you can dig way faster. But that's pretty much drilling explained. There's not much to drilling. Drilling's very, very, very easy. It just gives you a guide on where your cuts are supposed to be. Okay, let me go back and answer some questions now. Aggro, let's see here. Do you ever try a full claim wash from bottom like you do now and compare them? Yes, I have done that numerous times. And I've gotten roughly the same number every time. And as well as I've used the front end loader as well, but the only variation is it's so hard to give you the exact. It's so hard to go for the exact number because you have dropping when you drop dirt, right? Or things like that, right? Now, I don't mind shitty dirt. I don't like mining crappy dirt, okay? So I will leave dirt in the ground because it's not giving me enough. It's not worth my time, right? So during leaderboards, I tend to only mine dirt that is like 0.75 and up on the leaderboards, because why would you want to spend time digging dirt that is 0.5 ounces per meter when you could get 25% more dirt per meter, right? So if you're running 6,000 yards or 5,000 yards, just add it up, right? Like, it just makes sense to not run shitty dirt and not waste your time. This game is a massive grind as it is. Don't give yourself a bigger grind is really what it boils down to. But yeah, it's roughly the same every time, man. It's roughly the same every time, whether I dig from the top or whether I dig from the bottom. It's pretty much the same number every time. And it's close to the same, even with the front loader to the front, sorry, it's not the same. It's roughly 7% less gold if you use the front loader versus the excavator. The front loader is naturally tuned to give less gold because it's so overpowered. It's not that it deletes dirt. It's not that it does any of that shit. That's just a myth that people... reason why people thought that the front loader deletes dirt is because of this. And I'll show you. Before, when we first started playing this game, the front loader, when you pushed into a wall face, it just kept pushing and deleting the wall. You could just keep doing this and deleting it. And it kind of acted like the dozer. So, therefore, it would delete dirt and delete gold. Right? So, but now they've fixed the front loader to where the front loader doesn't push extra dirt on the wall face. It doesn't delete anything. It doesn't move anything. So, therefore, it doesn't delete dirt and it doesn't delete gold anymore. Think of... the way I kind of think about the game is... Imagine the dirt is just flat. I mean, if you're digging on something flat, right? And then you cut a hole in something, or you put a hole in something, imagine it's like a piece of paper that you just folded in, or just kind of like push something into it, right? The values really don't change per layer. It's kind of, it's hard to explain. It's very weird. Some people are like under the impression that you have to dig from the top down to get maximum gold, but digging from the top down this is what happens. If you dig from the top down, you're also taking 10 times longer to get the dirt to the wash plant, therefore your yards are lower. So therefore, are you getting more gold per hour than the guy that's digging fast and maybe losing a little bit of gold? So either way, you're still getting more gold by doing something that might, a big emphasis on this, might lose you more gold. You're always going to get more gold by running more yards than somebody else. Because the amount that you're losing is not as much as what you're gaining by going faster. If that makes sense. If I even said that right. You know what I mean? We're talking about gold rush theory crafting here, okay? This is very sorry if there's a lot of new people. If you guys need any other questions, please just ask. But for the advanced players and stuff like that have questions, stuff like that, hopefully we're fulfilling your guys' need for those questions. If you're playing the game for fun, just for fun, do you think it is a waste of time mining all the claims out or no? Well, I mean, Hunter, I'll get to your question here in a sec, bud. I mean, I prefer to play the game role play style. I mean, meta gameplay for me is kind of like, it's really boring. I don't like doing it. And this is for me personally, and this will come down to everybody, right? So if you're just meta mining, it's very boring because you're just doing the same rotation over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? It's like you're more fighting your skill and your patience to gain perfection, right? And if you're role playing, just dig however you want and just pretend like you're, you know, in Alaska and you're digging gold and you're having fun and, you know, and go through every claim for fun. You know, start from the first claim and work your way all the way to the last claim and then consider the game beaten once you've done that. If you haven't gone broke, you don't owe anybody anything, you have a big giant pile of gold, congratulations, you've beaten the game. Right? So it all comes down to the parameters that you want to play at and things like that. I mean, yeah, using dollar mode is not cheating. You're playing a single player game and, you know, things like that. You're just playing, you're just chilling. Second part of the question is, do you play on to get, second part is, what game speed do you play on to get 4,000 yards per day? I always play on 12x. It's the best tuning of the game. Sorry for this fucking thunder and lightning here, dudes. Let's go to a different save here. I always play on 12x because 12x has the best tuning for the game. It's pretty much, you know, it's everything is balanced around the 12x scale. So if you play hard mode on any other scale than 12x, it becomes so stupidly easy that there's no point in even playing hard mode anymore. So what dots do you go for? It doesn't really matter. It's just a basic reference, Hunter. It's just a basic, guide to the hole, right? That's why it varies when you're digging, because the more that you, the more that you drill the hole and you're digging, the more that this is going to change when you're digging on it, the little highlighted square, the more it's going to change, right? So if you drill one hole and you're digging, it's going to kind of say, okay, hey, I'm kind of in the gold in general in that area, but your cleanout's going to kind of vary. So you could be like, well, my cleanout was supposed to be like 57 ounces, but why was it 42 ounces? It's because you only drilled one hole and you might have been digging in an area that had, see, like this is a little bit more spotty, and this one's a little bit more thick, right? So either or, it doesn't matter. It's just a rough guide on where your gold's at in the hole. And the main thing, like I said, is don't sweat it. Just dig it as fast as you can and get it to the plant, because you're going to beat the guy that's sitting there going, hold on, let me pull out my pen and paper here. And we're going to write down square number 43 and this and this and this. I got to dig it just this way. And by the time you've already dug out 4 squares, by the time he can even dig a half of one. So you're going to just massacre him, right? It doesn't matter, right? Like, but if you're trying to pinch every bit of gold, take your time. Have fun with the game. There's nothing that says that you have to play mid-maxed or anything like that, right? Everybody has their own digging style. You take everything that I'm saying today with a grain of salt because you may not want to play like the way I play. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Everyone's going to adapt the game to their own ways and things like that, right? But generally, if you're on 12x, 4,000 yards is a good way of showing yourself, I'm very efficient at what I'm doing. Okay, I'm efficient at the whole process of mining the gold. Whether it's cutting in, you can't count the days that you have to cut into your claim and pile drive through all that crappy dirt and get to it. You can't count those days because those days are like kind of like a prep day, right? So if you don't run big yards on those days, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I mean, 4,000 yards is okay. 4,000 yards is for advanced players. Let's bring it down to about 2,500 yards. That means you're running, you know, you're running pretty good. You're doing decent. You're playing. Like for me, that's casual play. But for you guys that are new, that's a good day. 2,500 yards is a good day on the 12X. On 12X, it's a great day. You know, if you're a new player and everything like that, that's a ballin' day for you guys. So yeah, take that and just and focus on, like I said, the main fundamentals is clean out. The time you're at the wash plant doing cleanouts. The time it takes you to refuel things. Try to streamline those things. Get those things gone. Get those things done. All right, what else we got? What else we got, dudes? We got about 30 minutes here for questions for this Gold Rush stream here, guys. For the day. We'll do another one. Seems like you guys are genuinely into this, and there'll always be more questions. But I will throw this one up on YouTube here in 24 hours after. So tomorrow at some point. Tomorrow probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon my time. That way you guys can rewatch it back and kind of be like, oh, okay, that's what he was saying. That's what he was meaning. Okay, I can do it that way too. So we'll throw this one up on YouTube and put a thumbnail for it and all that good happy stuff. Yeah, any questions, dudes? Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry if I missed any questions, guys. Feel free to ask again. I'm not trying to ignore anybody's questions. Let's see, okay, so... Should you have full tier 5 before getting Franks? No. Yeah, feel free to say hi to YouTube, dudes. You can go for Franks at any... I would say don't obviously go for a Frank if you have a shaker, because it's gonna overload it. I mean, the D-Rocker should be able to handle the yardage if you push consistent yardage at it, but the shaker will not be able to. The shaker can't even handle a full bucket string going into it with continuous pay. So if you're continuously putting dirt into this, yeah. Yeah, you should be, if you're tier 4, if it'll handle Franks. It'll handle a Frank. A Frank is going to help you, like I was saying, if you have enough Franks. Like, see, Pine Valley, your first Frankenstein will be sitting right here, right? And it'll be extended into there. So your first Frank is going to be sitting here, and the back of Frank is going to be sitting right here, right? And that means your second Frank is going to be sitting right here, and his back is going to be sitting right about here, extended up into the Frank, right? So you're going to need 2 Franks on Pine Valley just to get down here. Right? That's roughly 40K, 45K, 50K a day, roughly, depending on when you rented it. So 50K a day just to run more dirt. So your third Frank will be back here. You know, try to be pushed up against the wall face or so on and so forth, right? So the Franks are always a good choice if you can afford them. But I would say definitely get your tier 5 first, because rock trucks aren't a bad... Rock trucks are not bad. They're good. You can run big yards with rock trucks. So get your tier 5, get that gold multiplied, and get that bonus, right? How much dump truck loads is 4,000? Bro, I don't even know. Like I said, I don't do heavy math like that. I just run dirt, dude. I just run dirt fast. You're gonna need roughly, I think it's, if I'm right, I think it's like 6 cleanouts roughly for like 4,000 yards, 6 or 7. Just wanted to play with Franks. I know Franks are fun, dude. Franks are awesome. Let's see if what is it? 3? It's roughly like 6 cleanouts, so 6 times 5. Around there. My math is probably way off, dudes. I don't do math like that. I just blast it. Not a numbers guy when it comes to this game, dude. I just go for it. And try to streamline, and the numbers will come, right? Yeah. So that is pretty much a strategy that most people use, is they will use the excavator from the top down and then use the front loader to clean the scrap, right? So it is very valid. That's what I was saying, to use. Don't give up on something because you can't use it or you don't know how to use it. Learn it. Learn how to use it. That's just another tool in your arsenal that you can use. Because one thing that's another killer is when, if you're trying to load rock trucks from, and you have an excavator down here, say you have a mound of dirt and you're trying to grab it from here and over into here like this, it's just slow. It's just so slow. Don't do that. Keep your excavator up on the wall. Open pit mine it as best as you can and use your front loader to scrape the scrap. Right? That's why we call him Janitor Jimmy, because he's good at cleaning up crap. He's great. Does a good job at it. All right, did I miss anything else? What we got here? Trying to keep up on pace with you guys here. Anything, dudes. Anything. If you're a brand new player, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything. We got you. We got you covered. Freaking got some Jeopardy music going on here. Oh, yes, and by the way, happy birthday, Yard, dude. Happy birthday, bro. Yeah, some people, that is a good question there, Druid. Some people do like to fill the plant up as it goes so they can save the money, right? Yeah, you just have to use the big pump and the small pump to equal the output that you're getting from your full wash plant. 12x does burn through more fuel because it's faster. You're burning. It's a harder tune. The tuning for 12x is tight. So yeah, pretty much just run your pump chains and then the output will be as much as your tier 5 is taking. I don't run it because the reason why I don't run the pumps is because it's just, like I said, I'm trying to cut back on. I try to cut back on the amount of items on the claim. Like if I'm running meta and I'm trying to save my FPS and everything like that, I try to run as minimal stuff as possible. Right? So if I have to run an extra pump and I have to run all these extra cables and everything like that, that's just less wavetables and stuff like that I can have. So I always just end up filling the thing up. It's not that expensive to fill the whole thing. It's like 20k. 20k is nothing. And it cuts down on all the cables and everything like that. And you don't have to worry about this thing freezing up in a drought or anything. But yes, that is true, Drew, that you can't just use the large and the small to equal the output. Yeah, you'd think by the time you're at tier 5, it would just be super cheap. Exactly. It's such a not give a shit type of thing that you're mainly just trying to streamline and but like I said, if you're role playing and stuff like that, then yeah, for sure. Hook up all your stuff, have fun with it. Hook it all up, have fun. Would you ever want to put a large fuel tank right next to the large Jenny? Never mind, that's how I have it right now. That's exactly, I always do it that way. Now, if you're running rock trucks, here's a little tip. I was kind of lazy. Make sure that when you align these things, that your fuel nozzle can reach this and be able to reach the rock truck to fill the rock truck while he's parked right here unloading. So this thing, what I tend to do most of the time is I have the end of this, the nozzle is right here, right? So that way I can grab it, jump up over the rock truck, fill the rock truck, and then go down and do my cleanup. And then therefore make sure that this is facing this way. Yeah, it'll make all your cables facing the other way, but at least you'll be able to fill up your Jenny and stuff. But the Jenny takes forever to use all of its fuel, so it really doesn't matter. You can always just pull one trailer over real quick, fill it up, and call it good. So that really doesn't matter. But if you want to fill your rock trucks up faster, then you could do it that way. You tag me in something, dude? Yeah, you're gonna go. You're going flying, huh? Trying to read. Matthew being all cryptic again. All right. All right. Anything else, dudes? What do you guys got? Like I said, I'm not really playing Gold Rush today. Mainly just chilling, chillaxing. Oh, that's right. I'm on the normal board here. That's what I was like. I wonder what was going on. How am I on a non-DLC with a DLC? What? What's going on here? So odd. Nice. Bielko played on the other one and got a good seasonal. Nice job, man. Congratulations, dude. Nice. Yeah, we got about 20 minutes, guys. Like I said, any questions? Any questions? That's all I was doing today was just jumping on, answering some questions today with Gold Rush, and then I'm gonna actually close this stream down so I can cut the VOD, and then I'll be back in like 15 minutes, and I'm probably just gonna dick around on some Satisfactory and kind of play around or something like that. I don't think there's anybody else on to play boats. I'm just gonna dink around. Yeah, probably just dink around and play some set. No. So yeah, we'll do another one of these again. We'll do another one again. The chat's kind of drying up on questions you guys might have. Bring. Twice, dude. Thank you much for the follow, man. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yep, just sitting there chilling today. We're not really digging. Just answering the stuffs. All the good, happy stuff. Yeah, we'll do another one because then I'm gonna be working on the videos too. So this will be a good one for you guys. Kind of tag back on. We'll throw it up on YouTube and Q&A days. We'll do a couple Q&A days. Maybe eventually the developers will like to join in. We've been asking them for 4 years. Maybe they would like to join us one day and come out of their hole that they've been hiding in. Maybe one day they'll let us leak some stuff out. Maybe. Never know. Alright, boys. There's gotta be some more questions. I know someone's... I know. It was a lot of information today. It would seem that would require them to care and listen to the community, bro. I agree, man. It's a bummer, man. It really is. I mean, Hunter, dude, like, the very first few years, the very first year and a half was fun. It was exciting. We had 2 community managers, Mike, Luke, and then the other one was Chris. They were banging, dude. They were spot on. Everything was like, blah, 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 blah. And it was just, everything was coming out, man. They were working with people like myself to bring the content to you guys, make sure that everything was great and awesome. And it's just, you know, it seemed like after they started working on console, like heavily, they just all all those guys don't work there anymore, right? I don't know why. I mean, who knows? We don't really know the story. We have no freaking clue. You know, and you know, there was a lot of guys that worked on the game, and then you know they started working on the game Diesel Brothers, and then after Diesel Brothers, all those guys don't work there anymore. So either they fulfilled what they were supposed to be there to build, and then they moved on, or who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows exactly what happened? You know, they'll never tell us. We'll never know. You know, we'll never find out. We'll never find out. All we know is that they don't talk to us. And I mean, I talk to the community managers all the time. Xander is great. He's absolutely amazing. He's been great to work with him, and it's just a struggle because upper management, I'm just being honest, guys, the upper management of Gold Rush, the Code Horizon, just doesn't seem to care. I don't know. I've never talked to the guy in 5 years, and I've promoted his game. Like, you guys saw that post that I put in the general. You know, I promoted his game. I promoted his game for free. Sold thousands of copies for this game, and I've never talked to him. I've tested his game, put thousands of hours into testing the game, helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players, and nothing. Nada. Nada nothing. Not a nothing. You know what I mean? Freaking that movie, dude. Not a nothing. And I just get pimp slapped with baby powder. Nothing, boys. We're getting sick of this crap. 5 freaking years, man. 5 years. The last 2 years have been nothing. There's nothing. Why? I don't understand. Do they not like making money? Do they not like hyping their game? And the people who build the game, right? The actual coders, they don't seem to have any say at all in anything. They don't. Nothing. And the community managers, they can't tell us anything. They're not allowed to tell us anything. That's exactly what they've told us in their thing. We're not allowed to say anything. Some people in the community even know more than the community managers. Like myself, because I've been here for so long. Right? Like, it's just, to me, it's very sad and it's disheartening. And I would have liked to seen the game become something bigger, you know, and it had the potential. It definitely has the potential still. It just needs people, either they need to sell the game to somebody that has the dedication and the drive to want to build a really good mining game, and I'm not saying anything that the developers don't have skill. The people that code this game are good. They do a good job. They've done a good job. You know, but I think at this point it's beyond even them, because it's been so pile drived over 5 years plus of them working on it with all these different coders. You know, the coders aren't working for them, and so on and so forth. You know, and it's, you know, where are we sitting at today? Like, we're all sitting here with our fingers in the air going, what the F? Right? Like, what's going on? Like, an IP like Gold Rush, right? Like, why is it just being left to blow in the wind? Gold Rush should be rivaling Farm Sim after five years, or even in the next 5 years. Within a decade, it should have easily been competing in sales and everything like that to Farm Sim. But they've just dropped the ball in any of those departments, marketing, even DLCs, anything they could have given us that would have been easy for them to implement. They just did not do. You know, we've discussed numerous times on the channel that, you know, why haven't we got any of these things? You know what I mean? Like, what's the deal, right? Do they really believe that leaderboards is enough for us to really care that long? No, we do that because we're passing time, because we're waiting for them. And it's just kind of sad. So I don't know what to say, boys. I really don't. I wish I did. I wish I could, but I can't, you know? And hopefully that these things come out. You know, so I just don't know what to say. It's a bummer. It really is a bummer. You know, I don't like beating it to death, because I do love the guys to death, the guys that still work there, man. They've been good to me, and they try their hardest to try to get through to the boss to see if we can get some of the stuff out for you guys, the fans that want you guys to see the new stuff. You guys have been waiting for years. You guys have seen those new mounds that are on all of the claims over there, sitting there for over a year and a half. And we're just sitting there going, why haven't we seen them yet? What is going on? Do they even give a crap? The developers, that code the game, they're not going to type to you guys. They have other things to do, and you know, that's what the community managers are for. The community managers are there in the game to communicate with you guys, right? The other guys are too busy on all the projects that they're working on, or all the other games that they're building, or whatever they're working on, to do it, right? So yeah, it's not their job to make us feel good in Discord. That's the community manager's job, right? Like, a lot of people have turned to me over the years as kind of like an unofficial community manager, but I can only tell you guys so much because I don't want to ruin my relationship with them. I've always been straight up and honest with them for 5 years. When something's stupid, I'll call bullshit, you know, and they know that. So it's you know, this is not anything new, and like I said, just I don't know, just be patient. It's all we can really do, I guess. I'm trying to get something worked out so we can show you guys something. Out of curiosity, I just saw that I am 3 years, 15 days as a member of YouTube. That is crazy, dude. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? That is crazy, man. But yeah, I mean, if anybody's got no more Gold Rush questions, dude, I'm gonna jump off and chill. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's small little stream of Gold Rush for, you know, a couple hours, just talking about Gold Rush related stuff and how-to stuff and you know, just general questions that I can answer. We'll hold another one again. Go check out Cole Sim. I'm serious. All right. Do they have? I'll do it. I'll do it here in a second because I'm gonna log off of this because I want this VOD to be just about questions and Gold Rush stuff. So I'll do that here in a little bit. I will be back here probably like 20-30 minutes with another stream. I'll be playing like Satisfactory or something like that. So we're just gonna be sitting hanging out. We can talk about Gold Rush there too as well, but for this stream I'm gonna cut it short and post the VOD up. So I'll check that out here in a little bit. But we're running out of time on this, dudes. Until next time, we'll do this again. We'll do it again. It seemed like you guys liked it. It seemed like you guys were genuinely curious about certain things. Maybe we'll drag some new players in the next time that we do it, and we'll start helping those guys. But WL, my window lickers, dudes, keep helping people, man. Be good to each other out there mining. Help each other out. You know, that's what it's all about, right? That's what this community does. We help players play this game, and so that way people can have a good experience and they don't just get burnt out on something that they shouldn't be doing and things like that, right? So make sure you guys have fun. Make sure you guys help one another. Take a little bit of time out of your day every day to answer some questions in the Gold Rush Discord, or whether it's in my Discord. All those things, you know, just help each other out. I'm gonna kick this battery that keeps breaking across the room a couple times. And yeah, dudes, I'll be back. I'll be back with some Satisfactory, dudes. So, not done streaming for the day by any means. I appreciate you guys coming in and all the questions, all the follows and things like that. And yeah, this video will be up tomorrow on YouTube, dudes. So take it easy. Much love. Peace out.